Welcome back, friend. Today we are working on wrapping our pages, and I have a couple of different ideas today. So grab yourself a cozy drink. It's cold outside, but it's warm here in my cozy little corner. Hi, it's Carrie from Created Me Creative. I'm just going to take a little sip of my coffee here, and then I will show you what we're up to today. So I have a couple of tools here. I have my scoreboard, and I also have a tab punch. If you don't have a tab punch, you could use a corner rounder. Any of those will work. And we'll just get our supplies set here. Last time, we worked on our edges for our papers. So today we're going to do a couple of different wraparounds. A wraparound pocket, which is what we're going to use this strip. This is a 3-inch strip that we cut off of our 12-inch papers. This is the leftover. So we're going to start with that one because it's a little easier. And then we are also going to do a wrap around. Actually, it's a wrap over, a fold over waterfall. We've got a few different pieces here, and we'll work through that step by step as well. For now, let's get that 3-inch strip, and we will start with that. So I'm going to do a couple of these in my journal, but I will show you just the first one, and then you can add from there. I'm going to take my scoreboard out of the way because we don't need the scoreboard for this one. On this first signature on this page here, what I would like to do is take this strip, and I think we're going to use the lighter on the outside. You can use whatever you would like. I like to use cardstock for pockets because it just gives it a little bit more of a sturdiness when you're putting stuff in. So this pocket here, I am just folding that. It's the 12 inches long by the 3 inches wide, and I'm just folding it in half. So it's going to go over the page. And rather than cutting it shorter so that it will be flush with the page edge, what we're going to do is we're going to actually use that overhang as a tab. And that's where our tab punch comes in. Or you can use the corner rounder if that's what you have. I like this pocket. Oh, we don't want it there though. I like this pocket idea because it does give that little tab that sticks out. And then you've got a pocket on both sides of your page. And I think this one is going to work well up with both papers. So let's get our tab punch. Again, if you don't have one, just round your corners and it will work perfectly. I am missing my little piece that goes here. I guess I'm gonna have to eyeball it. So when you're doing this, typically there is a plastic piece that goes, I wonder where that went. Of course it's not here when I need it. I'll just zoom you in so you can see. So it would be right along the edges of those holes. I wish I could find that little plastic piece. I know it was here just a few minutes ago. Oh, hey, look it. We're going to put in that first set of holes, and that gives us something to bump up to. If you've used your punch before, you know exactly how we're doing this. So you're going to push down and then turn it over, and we are just going to do it on each end. We're not making the tab any smaller. We're using the full 3-inch width. Again, push it right up against that edge. Push it right up against this edge here and punch. And that's going to give us our tab. Come back out there. We'll get that out of the way. We are not doing anything else with that tab punch. Again, that's why the round corner edge would have worked. I like the shape of this, but the corner rounder is perfect. So we're going to bring the book back in. And we're just going to check and make sure that that's going to come into the edge. We may have to trim a little bit of the paper off by the looks of it, because it's not going to get quite too, it's really tight. I think I'm going to trim just about 1/4 of an inch off the full length. Let me grab my trimmer here. And just so I can put my glasses on so I can see. So that is 1/4 inch right there. I think I'm going to do each side separately. And I will save these because you never know when they're going to come in handy. Move that back out of the way. And I'm going to round, so it's going to go in on the page this way, tab on the outside. I'm going to round the top corners. I'm going to leave the bottom square, but I am going to round the top corners. And I'm just going to use the middle size of this. All right. Clean that up. And we'll bring the book back in and make sure that that's going to fit. That's perfect. Maybe I do want it closer to the bottom. Yeah, let's do it closer to the bottom. It's still got this beautiful flower here, and then that gives me still all of this for writing purposes. So let's ink the edges just to give it some definition. That gets our edges done. We'll get some glue. Again, I'm just going to use my Barely Art glue. There we go. Put it in a smaller container. And we are going to go along, let's see, we're going to go on this page first. So we're going to go along the bottom here. Just a nice fine line. And I'm going to leave the edge that's on the inside of the book. I'm just going to leave it open. It doesn't need to be glued down because anything that's in the pocket is only going to slide to the center anyway. So let's start with that first piece. And we will eyeball it here. I just want to get the edge of this tab on the edge of the paper and then come across as straight as possible. Right there. I have a dry baby wipe here so I can wipe up the glue as I'm pushing it down onto the paper. And I think that's pretty straight. All right, we'll flip the page over. And then here we're going to come down along the tab edge. And then along the bottom of this side as well. Just like that. And then we will just fold it over. Get that nice and straight. And then with the baby wipe, I'm going to squish this tab tightly here. And that way, if any glue oozes out the sides, it's oozing into this little wipe instead of all over my hands. Okay. And now that that's in place, I am just going to ink this edge as well. And that is ready for some decor. We could put some washi. We could add a butterfly, maybe one of those scriptures if I can find another one. I wonder, maybe we could even punch a little hole here and have a dangle if we wanted to. Lots of ideas. That looks really nice. I like that. And then if we have a journal card or some paper, it'll just slide right in there like that on both sides. So we will decorate this later. Now I'm going to move on to the over the page waterfall. So let me gather the supplies for that and I will be right back. Okay, I am back with the supplies for the waterfall piece. I tried to do this yesterday, but it got too dark. We had a bit of a snow falling, and it's not that bright out there today either, but I'm hoping the lighting is okay so that we can continue with this. So what you're gonna need for this one is 2 pieces of cardstock, 4 inches wide, and I've just used the full 12 inches. And this first mark here is at 1/2 inch so that we can fold it there and glue it down, and then that will become the piece that goes over our page. I also have all of these pieces that I have pre-inked, cut. I've glued tea stain paper on the back of each one so we have it for journaling. And I have 3 of each of these. These measure 3 inches high by 3 3/4 inches wide. And these ones are actually from those 3-inch leftover strips that we have. So I just cut them 3 3/4, 3 3/4, 3 3/4. So I got 3 out of each one of those strips. So that gives us a total of 18. So when we put this together, we will have 9 of those on one side. Flip it over, we will have 9 of those on the other side. So let me just move these out of the way because we do need to do some scoring. And the scoring is going to be down here on both sides, both strips. And that's going to help, one, with the marking of where we're going to glue each piece of our card. And it's also going to help to make this a little bit more flexible so that each piece of the waterfall will bend up. And you'll see that as we move along. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put that there. So that's where I marked the first one at 1/2 inch. And then from there, we are going to mark 1/4 inch. And we have 9 on each side, so 9 markings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do one more. So we have, and it's hard to see. You see it there? So in each one of these spaces, we're going to put the glue and glue one of card of each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have an extra one now. So that's okay though. It won't matter. And then this piece here is the one that we're going to glue on here. And then we're going to mark the other side as well. So I will mark these ones and then we'll glue that together. Now I can move this out of the way. And I will get my glue out. And we will just glue this piece down first. You could just do waterfalls right on your pages for extra writing space. The reason why I like this is because it gives you writing space on this side as well once you've pulled it off the page. See if I can line that up now. Maneuver it into, oh, come on, Carrie. You can do it. Okay, that's lined up nicely. And that's just going to be the part there that slips over the page. And then we will cut it to length once we've got our pieces on. So now I think we're just going to figure out, oh, I wanted to show you too. This paper, if you watched the first video, when we were selecting our papers, you will remember that I had pulled out these two papers, thinking I might use them as well, and then decided against it because it didn't really go with the turquoise, and it was kind of leaning in the opposite direction of, the blues and the lighter tans. But then we added the pink tabs, and I thought, you know what? I can use this now. So we've got these three, then we've got this piece here that incorporates that darker color as well as the blue. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to utilize that. We are going to put these on. I'm not sure what order yet. So let's play around with that. We need to do 9 for one side and 9 for the other. So what do we think of that? I think that will work. I don't know if I love the two dark together. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's more balanced. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this dark one here and this because this floral is a little bit lighter, and that will balance that out a bit better too. Okay, decision made. So we're going to flip them over because we're going to start at the bottom. And we're going to glue. You know what? I'm going to get my glasses, and they are on the other side of the room. So give me 1 second. I will grab them. There we go. It's easier to see that way. And what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom you in for just a second on this. I don't know if you can see the lines there. We're going to put glue here. And not all the way to the edges because these aren't all the way to the edges. But that's where, just between those two score lines. All right. And we want to line it up so that it's in the middle. I'm going to use press that down. And then on the next one up, now we can use the outside edges as a marker. We're going to put the next one. And I've got my pile upside down here, so I know which one's coming next. hubby is making lunch. I can smell it. I don't know what he's making, but it smells really good. All right, and we're going to line that up like that. And it's on that next line. And we're just going to continue that all the way to the top. And if you're making this along with me, you'll have to let me know whether or not you've done a waterfall before in your journal, or if this is new to you. All righty, we've got three more. One, three. I wonder why that went that way. Oh no, we don't have 3 more. We have 4 more. I'm not counting very well. I might have started a row too far down, so we're gonna have to rework it, which is fine. We will rework it. Now, we can rectify that in 2 ways, and I will show you that in just a moment. We've got 2 options, I think. My brain is working on a fix already because it's not abnormal to have a workaround. Okay, there is our last one. So technically that should have ended at the top there. Now, couple of workarounds. One, I can find another piece of cardstock and make one more. I'm gonna zoom you back out here. Okay, so yeah, we could make another one to fit on the top. So we would have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we'd have 10. Could do that. Or we could just put a lace trim. And I think that's the way I'm gonna go. So let's just see what I've got here. Could be fabric. I have this little piece of fabric. We could do that over the top just to, create some decor. So I'm gonna probably work with either fabric or lace. In the meantime, look at this. And it's not really glued yet well, but each one is going to move up so easily. Just like that. And I realized why I did that 10th one, because this one is not bending. So I technically need one more down here so that last one will bend better. But isn't that great? Like it just folds right open, each one. I'm gonna let it dry. I am gonna have to get in there and do one more score. And then I think while I'm doing that, I'm going to score one more line on this side. So give me 2 seconds and I will be back when I've finished this side. And then we'll decorate the top. We'll cut it to length and I'll show it to you in the journal. Okay, I've got both sides done. As you can see, I have lunch here. My hubby made me lunch. And I told you I could smell something good. It's a BLT. And yeah, I'm gonna eat that and then I'll come back and we will keep playing. Okay, see you soon. Okay, we're back. I have let this dry. As you can tell by the lighting, I'm sure we are on a different day. I got sidetracked yesterday, and as I was letting this waterfall dry, and I was working on creating my Facebook page, and there was a whole lot of complications because I had originally set it up as a Facebook profile, And now I'm trying to move everything over. Anyway, I'll leave the link for my Facebook page down below if you'd like to join me over there. May take me a few weeks to get it up and working the way I want it to. But yeah, it's started and it'll be fun. So we are done putting these pieces on our waterfall. And what you need to do after they're glued and dried is to go back in and work in those bends where we scored so that each one will move up for writing space and lay flat as you do it. So, and you can decorate each and every one of these if you'd like. You could maybe put another piece of paper on the darker one so you could use it for writing space, or you could just leave it. So that is all of that. We do need to cut this shorter. We don't want all this down here. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard. I'm not even going to bother opening it completely. We will open this completely. And I think what we'll do is we will just, each one of these is a 1/4 inch. So I think we're just going to cut a 1/4 inch past the bottom of that one. So that's the 1/4 inch right there. And we will just trim there. And that gives it a nice finish. And we'll do the same on this side. And it should be pretty much the same length. Now these pieces we could use to create tags or journal cards. And so I'm just going to put them off to the side there. Move my scoreboard. And I'm going to get my corner rounder. And we're going to round these corners at the bottom here to match. 1, 2. Yeah, this one's a little bit longer. I'm not going to worry about that. Once you put it over the page, you won't even know. And I will probably ink. But let's grab our journal and I'll show you what this is going to look like. So let's go to the middle signature. Let's flip right to it. And I'm thinking maybe on this page or maybe on the back page that's corresponding. Let's take a look at it here. So that's just going to sit there like that. And then when you flip it over, you've got the other piece here. Yeah, I really like that. Now, we could clip it down with a clip, a paper clip, or a bulldog clip. The weight of it may just hold it there. But for now, wow, I really like that. Yeah. For now, we are going to ink and do some decorating. And then we're going to go back and decorate that pocket that we put in earlier as well. So let me grab my ink. Just going to do the edges. I'm not going to worry about the top because we're going to actually put something on there. So, and if you wanted to, like if these lines bothered you, you could cover that with paper as well. It doesn't bother me any. I'm going to just leave it. I know I couldn't write that small and use it as lines to write a straight line, write in a straight line. But it doesn't bother me that they're there. And I just love that this gives extra writing space in our journal. On pages that we may not be able to write on because it's already got text or the color of the paper is just too dark to write on. So that's, those are the papers I like to put these kinds of things, the pockets where we can add tags, that kind of thing. So that is that. So I think I'm going to decorate the front of both of these. Got some bits and pieces, leftovers from when we did our clusters, our snippet roll, and made them into the tabs. I think I'm going to do fabric across the top or lace. So maybe we'll do that first. Maybe we'll just do that and wrap that around the top. Yeah, let's do that. Grab my scissors. Okay. Oops, throwing stuff around. So my lunch yesterday was fantastic. It was BLT, and it was on a carb-free bun, and I had some raspberries on the side. My hubby knows that once I get into my craft room, I'm probably not coming out to eat. So yeah, he just decided that he was making himself some lunch. He'd make me some lunch as well. So sweet guy. Sweet, sweet guy. All right, I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac here. Going to go right across just the top. I'm not going to go down on that card. That's probably too much, but you know me. Glue everywhere. Glue, glue everywhere. Glue, glue everywhere. All right. Put that there. Just going to smooth it out. I'm going to let it hang off the edge. I kind of like that. I like the frayed bits. There we go. And then maybe we will, I don't know if I like that. Could add a butterfly. Okay, those will be our 5 pieces. All righty. And it's as simple as that. There's our one little side. So now we'll turn it over and we will play on this side. And then it's got a little bit of movement on the wings, not much. We don't want it to bulk out. That just gives that a little bit of dimension. And that one string can come over that. There we go. See, it looks like antenna. Now this butterfly actually still has its antennae intact. A lot of times when I fussy cut them, I end up cutting those off, but this was a punch out, so it stayed. So that, now that our fabric glue is dry, that is finished. Let's find our middle signature again because that's where it's going to live. And then we can decide, do we want that one on this page or that one? I like this one better. Let's make sure that the butterfly, yeah, that is exactly perfect. Now I'm talking through my teeth because I'm holding the clip in my mouth. All right, let me get back in the middle of the camera. I got so much going on here. And let's just see if this little clip will work. Might be too small. Oh, there we do it. We got it. She's in. She is in. Look how pretty. I love that. All right, now back to the front where we put in that pocket at the very beginning. And we can decorate both sides on this. So I think I'm going to use this piece of the leftover washi. So we'll start with that. I think we'll do it right here. I think it needs something else before I put that on. And here is my thought. I have vintage book or music, and I absolutely love music. I want to keep that edge. I love that natural. So maybe we can add that in just for a little bit more. And I actually think I'm going to try and get it up underneath. And I'm not going to distress this because it's, yeah, I'm going to pull that back. Actually, I'm going to rip this little edge off and then it will fit up in there. Keep this because that'll work on another page. And I'm just going to very carefully, this book is fragile, like it was falling apart because it's so old. And all the words are German. All right, let's pop that under there. And then I'm just going to tuck a little bit of glue on this now that I've pulled it up. There we go. Yeah, that just gives us another layer. Love the music notes. Love that natural patina on it. And then I think we'll just add our little flower there in layers. So let's put the 3 layers together first. This flower is seen better days, and I think it's going to be happy. It has a home now. Oh, I lost that middle one. All right. Let's get some glue on there. And I'm just going to pull all those little bent pieces and make them lay down nicely. There we go. I'm going to turn it that way. There we go. I like that. Yep, I really like that. That's very pretty. We've got 5 on there already, so I don't really need anything else. And I don't have, oh, I do have a word. Could pop a word in there. Kindness or believe. Let me get my scissors. I think I will choose believe. See if I can cut a straight line. Let's see about that. I do like that. And then I think I'm going to pop a hole in here and we're going to hang something. I think that's what we're going to do. And that will give us our odd elements again. Let me get my hole, my crocodile, and we will punch in a hole and find a charm. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so I found tiny little eyelet in the exact blue that's in this paper here. So we're going to use that. And then I have my bulb pins in 3 different colors, a brass, almost a black, and then a gold. And in here as well, I have some charms. I've got some butterflies, some leaves, these little ones that have words on them. So blessed and sweet. And then I also have these little pearls as well. I think on this one, though, because we've got a butterfly later on in the journal that we just decorated, I think I'm going to use one of these butterflies. Put it up here so you can see it. And I'm going to go with the darker of the bulb pins, like that. And then we will just punch a hole. Put your glasses on, Carrie, so you can see which end to go with. Da, 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 da. Let's do, I think it is, yeah, I think it's the bigger one. You know what? Let's do the smaller one just in case. You can't take it back if you don't. So I'm just going to put it right near the bottom here. Yep, no, it's definitely the bigger one. Line that up. I hope my head's not in the camera. All right. Get that out of the way. We're going to pop our little eyelet in. And I always struggle with this. I think I'm going to come in this way. Oh, nope, I'm not going to come in that way. I'm going to turn the book a little so I can see it better. All right. Gonna put that there. It's in the right spot now. And we're just going to press it down and hope we did it right. So that's in. It's a little messed up on this side, but I don't think that's going to matter. We're going to pop our little butterfly onto our bulb pin. And we're going to put our bulb pin through the hole, clip it together. And there, we've got a little charm. Look how pretty that is. That's very cute. All right. Well, that's it for today. I will continue to decorate this pocket over here. I do have, I found these while I was going through some papers. And I thought maybe they would be nice little journaling cards tucked in. I'm not sure. I've got a couple of different ones. Birds, flowers, butterflies, they're also pretty. So I've got those. I found a couple of other floral papers. This one actually reminded me of this fabric a little bit. So probably use these in different pockets and places because they've got great spots for writing. So I'm going to go ahead and put a few more of these wraparound pockets in. I might do a couple of other pockets as well. And then when we get back together the next time, I'll show you what I've done. And I think we will work on our cover next week. So, yeah. And then we're almost done. The cover and the closure. And if we can do that all in one go, then we will wrap this up and then our journal is ready to go. Our journey journal will be ready to go. I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll come along and finish this journal off. We'll have a brand new journal to go into the new year with. And yeah, I'm excited. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if this is your first time here. And if you're returning, again, let me know that you're here again and where you are on this journal. If you joined me in actually building the journal, I welcome you to go back and just kind of cozy your way through the series, and we'll meet back here next Thursday. I thank you. Take care, and we will see you soon. Okay. Bye bye.